Listen up. Y'all aren't going to believe this. So we know that ICE has begun buying mega warehouses for detention centers all across the U.S. Here's a map showing some of them. But did you know they're building Neurolink clinic sites right beside the detention centers? In Miami, Florida, there's a Neurolink's clinical site at the University of Miami and is located near the Chrome Detention Center. And the Chrome Detention Center, there was reports from late 2024 to early 2025 noted that detainee deaths involving neurological symptoms prompting calls for investigations. Then in Phoenix, Arizona, there's a Neuralink research site that is based at the Barrow Neurological Institute, situated near ICE facilities where, according to reports, solitary confinement times increased significantly. There's also a Hawaii connection where allegations have suggested potential connections to Honolulu, FDC Honolulu, and Straub Medical Center, involving transferred detainees raising questions about logistical proximity to medical facilities. Now, we know back in the day, there was these specific camps that were doing experiments on people. Makes you wonder. Not only that, but why do they need mega detention centers when these people are supposed to be deported? Kind of makes you wonder who's really going to be sent to these camps, especially when Neuralink looks very similar to the mark of the beast. Y'all, every day there's more and more proof of the times we're living in. If you do not have a relationship with Jesus Christ, you need to get one now.
Shut the hell up. Oh, Jesus Christ. Anyway. Right, before I begin this lesson, I want to go on a praise and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Hawashai, Hashem, Dash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, who are the leaders of all the Israelites in these end times, the true prophets sent by Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai to show us the correct way to salvation. Shalom to Aqua in order. Shalom to brothers teaching, and highways and hedges, giving up your bodies a living sacrifice, risking your lives daily for this gospel. And shalom to you, Israelites scattered abroad among the right of other nations, but your seed line goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, making you a Hebrew Israelite. Regardless of your appearance, because it ain't about color, it's about the chosen seed line, which was scattered among all nations. So shalom to you. Alright, this is just a quick one because I'm actually rushing around, getting ready for camp. And I came across this link, this video that you just saw this morning, and I thought I'd quickly share it. Nothing wrong, it's just straight to the point. They're building ICE detention facilities all over the US right now, which, I've done a lesson on it before, but I'll briefly speak on that too, because that's also part of prophecy, biblical prophecy. The Bible says that the Lord will, not the Lord, let me just read it. Let's go to the book of Revelation chapter 2 and verse 10. It says, "Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer," right? So we're going to suffer. We're not going to be raptured out of here. The elect are going to go through a lot of tribulation before the kingdom of heaven comes. So it says, "Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer." And it says, "Behold, the devil," which is Esau Edom, "shall cast some of you into prison," right? These ICE detention facilities or whatever the concentration camp they might be building, right? So the devil will cast some of us into prison. It says that ye may be tried. So we're going to be tested, right? This is a time of, us being tried as gold in a fire to see who is worthy of salvation, right? See who really loves the Lord, man. "And ye shall have tribulation 10 days, which is a set period of time, not necessarily exactly 10 days. It says, "Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life." So you have to keep hold of that faith. That's why it's important for us to build up the faith, that we're building up right now. We've got to build up as much faith as possible in these days while we're able to teach and stuff. All right. So another thing she said in that video is that they're building Neuralink clinics at these detention centers, which I found very interesting. It's the reason I wanted to do this lesson, right? Because if you jump to the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16 and 68, 2nd Ezra 16 and 68, For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you. So, you know, some of us will be thrown into prisons, right? Just like we read in Revelations chapter 2 and 10. This lines up with it. And it says that the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you. That's them martial law troops, or, you know, that's Esau, the devil, and his workers. You know, they're gonna come for us one day, right? As well as the population, because there's going to be civil unrest. So, you know, there's going to be lawlessness in the streets. They're going to have to declare martial law, and, you know, a lot of us will be cast into prisons. It says, this is the point right here, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols, which is the mark of the beast. They're going to put the chip in a lot of us. Not us as in the elect. The elect won't receive it. But they're going to force a lot of people to get that chip. Now, if you... let me read on, because it says here in verse 69, and they that consent unto them, because you have to consent. Okay, they're not going to pin you down and lodge it in you, right? Unless you're not of the elect. The Lord won't allow them to do that to the elect. But if you consent, meaning you give in, you're not faithful unto death, right? And then you give in and take that. It says... They that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot. So you're gonna be destroyed by the Lord, man. Ultimately, is what this is saying. You're through, man. Okay. So you become an enemy of the Lord if you take this Neurolink. Now I got another video or two I want to show you, because this is something that was posted a little while back, and I put it on the back burner for a rainy day. Looks like this is that rainy day. But check out what this boy says right here. Lines up with what the woman said about the Neurolink clinics on site of these detention centers. Check this out.
Elon Musk is using ICE detainees as experiments for his Neurolink project. That is coming from a video from a woman that's a really good journalist, by the way, connecting dots as to why Elon is connected to Alligator Alcatraz, ICE, and Neuralink as a whole. As I was watching that video, it makes perfect sense as to why he would use these immigrants and these ICE detainees to experiment on, because they are easily able to just disappear these people if they have to. They don't really have any documentation of even being here. So to them, they're just using these people as experiments. Any, I would say, sane American, or anybody in this country, doesn't matter if you're American, whatever, nobody would go into a line to a medical facility and say, yes, I want you to open my head and put a chip in it. No one's going to do it. But since these ICE detainees don't really have a safe for themselves, they can just do whatever they want with them. This is very disturbing, and I believe this is why Elon was working with Trump in the first place. I will try to pin her account name in this video so you guys can see the original video, but it makes perfect sense. You have Elon with Doge, Peter Thiel with Palantir, all these people working together to implement some type of Antichrist beast system in the future. So they're going to start using these people as experiments. Makes perfect sense. I'd like to hear your thoughts on what you think about this. It's very fucking disturbing.
Yes, it is. It just shows you that this man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. When the Bible talks about the devil, it's not the character that they portray in Christianity, man. This is talking about Esau Edom. He's extremely wicked, and I wouldn't put nothing past this devil. I believe everything that guy is saying, because this sounds like how Esau gets down, you know. But I want to play one more video, bring out a few scriptures along with it, right? Because this is from a movie back in 1981. I don't know the name of the movie. I'm sure it's not hard to find out. But pay attention to what is said. It's on point with, you know, the conflict going on today, with the energy crisis and all that, and the food crisis that's coming. I mean, he says it all in this. It's because it's always been planned. It's a part of their NWO agenda, okay? And without further ado, check this out, man. I'm bringing out a few precepts as we go along.
Daily possibility. Let me say that we have been highly effective in conditioning the people's minds to accept our solution to the world's problems. The energy crisis here in the United States was exceptionally successful worldwide, and we expect similar success with our upcoming food shortage. Our labor leaders have made great progress by causing confusion and work stoppages in all areas of the world. Financially,
this is exactly what's going on in the world right now. Energy crisis, then that's going to lead to food shortage. You got confusion, it says, right? And then it talks about, a lack of work, Scriptures talk about in, forget the scripture, but it says that the grinders cease because they are few. So there's going to be a loss of jobs in the days we're coming into. Anyway, let me go ahead and play it.
the dollar is being devalued even faster than we could have hoped.
Yep, because all countries are turning away from the American dollar. This was always prophesied to happen, and the elites understand, the prophecies, and they also, they think that they can eventually beat prophecy because they're fools.
Politically, the public has lost total confidence in any form of government. The threat of universal war is a daily possibility. As you know, we ourselves do not need
Yeah, because we're entering into World War III. Very much a possibility.
to hold any visible office of leadership. As a matter of fact, it's better that we do not. If we control the finances, news media, food, transportation, energy, we control everything. It is important that you, as world leaders, keep our program before your countrymen. With our World Bank and computer program operational, we now have the capacity to control the financial affairs of every human being on Earth by giving each person his own computer number. Anytime his number is used, we would know his financial situation at once. He could not buy or sell anything without his computer number. It will simplify their lifestyles tremendously. The end result will be a one-world monetary and government system that we alone will control.
Boom, that's the mark of the beast, man. And we've been prophesying about this for a long time. And, in the end, these other camps that teach against it, being a physical mark, they're going to be confounded. All right, so let's just bring it out quick and we'll close it out. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 16. It says, "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads." The right hand is the RFID microchip. The forehead is the Neurolink. They're all getting it, getting this technology ready to roll out just in time for the end. Just it's all coming together. For the NWO agenda to basically make you a perpetual debt slave to them. And once you take that, it's a form of, bowing down to this beast system. You've made it's an idol, That's why it said in Second Ezra's, that they will offer you being, they will feed you being idle with things offered unto idols, okay? Because this is an idol. You're basically you're bowing down to this beast system, okay? And you can't buy or sell without it. You can't make no transactions. It mentions it in verse 17. It says, "And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Let hear his wisdom, let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666." So it's a physical mark. If you go into the Greek word for mark, it says charagma, all right, which is different from, other scriptures which state a physical mark like scopeo or thawa. Okay, there's different types of marks in the Bible, but this one, it describes it as being a physical mark. Other camps don't want you going into the meaning of words, because then you get the understanding as to what this is talking about, and they don't want that. All right, so this is where it's headed, okay? And anyone that takes this is going to be destroyed by the Lord, okay? So you know, I got to rush off now. I have to cut this lesson short, but Lord willing, you were edified, all right? This is where it's headed, and they're building Neurolink clinics at these concentration camps, which they're planning to throw some of you in, all right? And you heard it from Great Millstone, that it is the mark of the beast, is a physical mark, all right? So don't take it. And Lord willing, you're edified by this lesson. I'm going to give all honor, praise, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Rachak Wadash. All right, Shalom.